Your parents will never respect my family the way they respected your brother's wife's family. Good evening. Good evening. So I got back from town about an hour or two ago. So earlier was the Centonomy Open Day. I've done both Centonomy 101 and Centonomy Entrepreneur programs, but for some reason I just felt called to attend today. Actually, I had signed up. To attend it in person, and then along the way I was like, I think it was about 2 weeks ago that I signed up, and then along the way I'll just attend online, and then I got a call the day before yesterday from one of the Centonomy people, and I think I was a bit too embarrassed to change my mind after having confirmed. So that's why I went. But it was such a good idea that I went, because I got to meet people that are very significant to what I'm trying to do as I move forward. As the title of this is Venturing into Finance. So my previous work, uh, I guess those who've been in my circle, has been in media, um, which later moved into capacity building. So with media, we're doing Black Star Media, just really highlighting the work of change makers, putting a microphone onto under their chins, just giving them the microphone really to amplify what they're doing, because they really have they're doing vital work, very important work, but because they don't have the capital that is needed to pay for regular like press conferences, media coverage. So these kinds of people don't get covered. So that's why we set up Black Star Media. Then one of the things I realized along there is that change makers, it's not just publicity or spotlight or communication support that's missing, but there's also the challenge of sustainability. So sustainability in the sense of the systems that they're running, a lot of them are just doing what they do as volunteers, or they don't have funding, don't have working spaces, don't have capital. So with the nonprofit Culture and Communication in Development, we then set it up to address that. And it is that actually that has brought me to this place of me asked to this place of where we are venturing into finance. So the last programs we had been doing had been around financial literacy, financial education, investor, investor, investor stakeholder matchmaker, basically matchmaking, people who needed people who needed funding and people who had the funding to invest. And one of the programs we did was with the Kenya Renewable Energy Association, KEREA, so the startups, the energy startups under KEREA. And we managed to get some venture capital funders with them together for a small meetup, about either 30 to 50 people, something like that. And we had it at Ikigai. Um, and so that has been where we have been. But just the recognition of the next phase of the journey is enabling organizations, startups, entrepreneurs, especially social entrepreneurs, people that have a very strong social bent, connecting them to the money that they need to run their operations. Um, and as part of that also was recognizing, no, I think I'm jumping the gun. But anyway, so just the title is just to say that this is kind of where I am right now. Especially this month has been almost like a quantum leap in terms of what we've managed to do so far. Reaching out to stakeholders in the finance space, because what I say is that business is actually a sort of activism. Finance is a sort of activism. So a lot of the uh, human rights defenders talk about how um, economic liberation is the one thing that was missing, that we needed the political liberation, which came with the repeal of Section 2A. We needed, prior to that, had been the need for national liberation from colonialism, which came with independence. There's another liberation that they talk about. I don't remember right now. But really, what the consensus is that right now the thing that's challenging us is economic liberation. And I say that in the sense of even matters to do with human dignity, because that's really what human rights work is. That's what activism is about. It's about enabling dignity, enabling people to live, enabling all people to live lives, to access lives of dignity, and not just taking it for granted that everyone has to be poor and begging for things from the government. Um, and then so I really like this place that it's also that it's not just about getting change from the politics, because the political space can only do so much. I was there. I was there for a long, long time, many years. Had a great time there. But the interesting thing that I recognize that actually the finance is on a higher level than the politics. And so I got into politics, burnt out, crashed, burnt a bit, but it also did some amazing things with some of the political parties there, like Ford Kenya, the Labour Party of Kenya. That's so I was a candidate, I was a presidential candidate under the Labour Party of Kenya, with Professor Julia Jambo. And it was only later that I realized that finance is actually on a higher level and can have bigger influence than just if you're just engaging with the politics alone. That if the people who are giving the money can not just dictate but also influence what are the political players doing. So I think even this venturing into finance is more of about really understanding where the real leverage is and where the highest potential is for change, rather than just expecting change to be in the political field. Yet the politicians actually, the power that they have is so negligible, because there's so many interests that they have to that they are accountable to and that they have to respond to, and in a way, they're actually not their own bosses. So the politicians are not their own bosses, but even worse, they're not even the bosses of the citizens. Ideally, they're supposed to be the citizens, but because of the how it is structured, their bosses are the ones who are paying them. Sadly, it is international organizations like IMF and World Bank who give them the debt, who give them loans, and then dictate terms of this is what we expect. So in a big way, that's why I'm more in getting into finance right now. And so the approach right now is more on the higher level place, but also with a very strong grassroots, like grounding. It's very grounded. It's not just theoretical, and but it's also grounded. So it's also actually about how to merge the high level and the what's happening on the ground. Um, and there's a lot that I can say about that, but I will talk about it later on. So yeah, actually today at that St. Autonomy's open day, I'm wondering to what extent I should talk about some of what I'm doing moving forward. Um, well, I guess I wouldn't. I guess I wouldn't because some of it is actually cooking. But what I guess why I'm making this video is kind of like just it's almost like a diary, chronicling where I am, what I'm doing, um, and also chronicling what looked like such a big step 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Like there's been quantum leaps, um, but now the doors are open. Like the doors are open, the doors are opening. I'm seeing the hypothesis that I had being vindicated, and I was just saying earlier that there's nothing tastes as good on the lips as vindication. It's the best feeling in the world. So I'll be talking some more about it. Um, I realized that when I come onto this, whatever, I immediately start planning about how I'm going to be coming here every so often, every so week. And today very deliberately held myself off from making promises about how I'm gonna do a weekly what, and we'll be doing this every so much. No, no. Today I'm just doing a video because I'm in front of my camera. Actually, now that we're still talking about finance, like I was supposed I have a meeting at 6:30 with so I can talk about this. There's a group called Venture University, and it is a venture capital firm that has that has various wings. It has an investment wing, it has an educational academic wing, it has an acceleration wing, it has the actual investing wing, everything. So I've just applied. I just applied for to get onto Venture University. Yeah, to get onto the Venture University to do their 1 year program. It's a 1 year program. So we are having an intake interview at 6:30. So initially, I thought that the interview was happening at 6 o'clock, but then I saw that it's actually at 6:30. So I said, well, now that I'm here, let me make a video on YouTube. But you see, that's another of the string of coincidences where everything is like finance, finance, finance. And of course, I think, okay, not of course, but some of the ways that I see what I'm doing ending out is really really getting into venture capital in a big way. Okay, let me take back the word big, in a concerted way, because it's not just about big, and then there's nothing actually happening. So concerted, in a concerted way, in a way that there's actual impact, that actually companies have been um, that we've engaged well, and that there is, and it's not just doing things for the hype, because in this world of venture capital, a lot of it is hype. So a big part of what I'm being very conscious about is that I'm not just doing things for the hype. And even prior to venture capital, one of the bigger things is impact investing. That's, I think, one thing that's very, very much in my heart. Impact investing, and so that's actually where the aspect of being engaged implies, I mean, rather comes in, because you can't have impact in a company if you're not adequately and appropriately involved and engaged. And I guess the venture capital part of it is very much long term. Once we've seen enough successes with the farms, with the farms that we've been taking on. But yeah, so those are some of the directions that we're going. So impact investing, and we've been doing that already. And we I'm going to give numbers right now and results. I won't give that right now, but I shall be talking about it, because some of it is work in progress. But down the line, yes, venture capital, and more, yes, just things in this finance world. And just what I'm seeing so far. Okay, this is one book that's been guiding quite a few of the my understanding of the finance world. This is Gina Mbaru's Transforming Africa. I might have mentioned it before. Um, I might have mentioned it before here. And it's for those who don't know, Jim Nambaru is that I'm looking to read his bio. So Jim Nambaru is an internationally renowned investment banker who has made a remarkable contribution to the development of capital markets in Africa. So he was the chairman. Yeah, he's been associated with the development of financial institutions, including the Nairobi Stock Exchange, where he was the chairman, and Africa Stock Exchanges Association, ASEA, which he launched as founder chairman in 1993. He is chairman director of several companies, including the Blair Investment Bank. So that's one book that I have been reading that's been helping me understand, really helping me dip my toes into this investment, in this finance world. And I will be honest, I have been procrastinating on reading this book. The writer of this book, he gave it to me maybe about 3 years ago, and I have not made much headway. So you can see, I think I am in page, am I in page 58, thereabouts? But I am not giving up on it. I am not giving up on it. Like, I'm not giving up on it. I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm going to make sure that I finish it. I'm going to make sure that I finish it. Another one that I've been reading about has been this, The Merchant's Pearl. It's written by Luke Kenotti, and Luke Kenotti is I want to get his bio to tell you about him. Luke Kenotti is, I'm looking for a summary about him. Ah, good, 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 good. So about the author, Dr. Luke Kenotti is a distinguished investment banker, entrepreneur, mentor, author, and philanthropist with over 35 years of experience in finance, investments, business leadership. As the founder and CEO of Vedman Capital Limited, a premier wealth management and investment advisory firm, he brings unparalleled expertise in capital markets, financial strategy, and wealth creation. So in 2006, he founded Fusion Capital, a leading private equity and real estate firm, um, which has spearheaded major projects such as Kigali Heights in Rwanda, Flamingo Tower in Nairobi, Greenwood City Mall in Meru, and Goldmark Apartments in Kampala. So I met this gentleman, like the author of this book. I met him in church just this year. Actually, he very kindly gave me this book as well. So it's also been very helpful in terms of helping me orient myself into this investment space. And so I want to talk about the synchronicity of all this, the synchronicity of how I find myself venturing into this financial space. This book is it's such an easy read. I think he's like such an innate writer. It's not like this other one is bad at all. It's in fact it's very well, like there's so much in terms of ideas and possibility, and it's very jam packed with like it talks about it goes into detail in terms of things like mentioning which law allowed for Africans to start owning their own businesses. It goes into like exploring like the reason for the competitiveness of African stock markets. It goes into the establishment of like it. So it's very detailed, and it's very, is that word, minute. Anyway, I'm seeing that it's 6:29 and I need to run for my meeting. But so this was just an overview of me getting into the finance space, and I will keep you posted. So have a good one, and talk later. Bye.